EA Sports Madden NFL is one of the most popular but also one of the most polarizing franchises in gaming history. Madden NFL football was once upon a time one of the most revered gaming franchises ever, but then, most likely due to corporate greed, Madden started to slowly dip in quality until it just completely fell off in quality, leading to progressively worse and worse and worse games as the series continues to put games out at a yearly pace. And for those that are unaware that are subscribed to my channel, I am a die-hard American football fan. I have been since the age of 3, and growing up, I always wanted to be a professional football player growing up. But certain factors, like genetics or something else, got in the way, and unfortunately, I ended up having to settle for an art career, and unfortunately, that hasn't panned out yet either. But yeah, it was basically my dream to be a professional athlete, so any chance I get to play or talk about football or even like play the video games involving football, I always treasure because it's basically the closest I can get to being able to play football professionally. So anyway, enough of the story time, back to the Madden video game series. So yeah, obviously, even though Madden's fallen off in quality, like I stated earlier, there was a point in time where every year people were waiting for the new Madden game to come out, waiting to see if the new Madden game was going to be better than the last one. And more times than not, especially during the 2000s, Madden games were just getting progressively better and better for a period of time, until it didn't. So in today's video, we're going to be ranking the top 10 greatest Madden NFL football games of all time. Number 10. Madden 10. This game would unfortunately be the start of the series' disastrous consequences of microtransactions thanks to the Madden Ultimate Team mode, but this is still a relatively solid Madden game outside of that. It features the cover boys Troy Polamalu from the Pittsburgh Steelers and Larry Fitzgerald from the Arizona Cardinals, as they are both 99 rated overall players in that particular game, no question. So those two players aside, what makes Madden 10 still a good game despite the microtransactions being introduced in this game? Well, for starters, it's still a deeply nuanced video game, in which the gameplay is very balanced and slowed down and feels authentic to the actual NFL gameplay and not the arcade style of the early 2000 games, even though I personally find that as a negative because it makes the gameplay all the more slower and less fun. What was fun though was the ability to have franchise mode online, where you could basically take 32 people randomly online and you guys could basically have a whole NFL season together if you wanted to. Madden Moments was in here, and it's still arguably one of the greatest game modes in the Madden franchise, so thank you for that. And on top of that, the rating adjustment system that was brought into this game was also a blessing too, because it basically allowed your player to get better as the season progressed based on how well he did up until that point in the season. Let's also not forget the introduction to the Fight for the Fumble minigame that they had in this game. While not the greatest Madden game in the world, it's still a good Madden game, and it's definitely better than a lot of the later Madden games that came out recently. But the introduction of the microtransactions with the Madden Ultimate Team was something that really hurt this game's value, especially in later years. But everything else about this game is relatively solid. It's still a relatively fun Madden game to play if you're ever bored. Best teams to use in this game would be the Pittsburgh Steelers coming off the Super Bowl victory, the New England Patriots with Tom Brady returning after his ACL injury and Randy Moss and Wes Welker still being in their prime, the San Diego Chargers too, with probably the best set of players written on paper, the Philadelphia Eagles, who were this close to making the Super Bowl at the 6th seed, and lastly, you can make a case for the Arizona Cardinals, given that Kurt Warner to Larry Fitzgerald is another unstoppable duo, along with Anquan Boldin on the other side of the field as well. Also throw in the Titans and Colts as well, with both teams sporting 13-3 and 12-4 records respectively. Number 9. Madden 99. Okay, so I know a lot of you are looking at me like, why is this old Madden game on here when a lot of the newer games have something better about them? So, Madden 99 was the beginning of franchise mode, which has led to multiple franchise modes afterwards. So that alone was enough to get in the top 10 because of the importance of how getting franchise mode in an NFL game was going to make the game much more popular. And also, out of all the other Madden games that came out in the 90s, this is quite possibly the best version of the 90s Madden, because it literally brought a style of arcade football that still has yet to be replicated by the newer games. And it's actually very saddening to see that a game from the late 90s is considered better than a lot of the newer games that's coming out in the 2020s and about to be 2030s. That's actually very, very sad. Another thing to like about this game, aside from the franchise mode, is that it also basically has a momentum swing in how well you're playing. So if you're playing really well, basically everything goes right for you. But if you're basically screwing up, then it's basically gonna be like, it's like a ripple effect. The more good you do, the better you're gonna be. The worse you do, the worse you're gonna be. Also, this was the first time where you could really see the animation styles really start to pop out a bit more. The graphics at that point in time was the best the game has ever seen until it got to the second gen consoles. And once again, I cannot reiterate this enough, but the simulation style of football in this game is absolutely on point. And on top of that, there's no microtransactions where players have to buy money to get what they want out of this game or to upgrade certain things in their game. The fact that I can find so much good about this particular game compared to the newer games is saddening. Again, I hate to reiterate this fact, but it just shows how far Madden and EA Sports has fallen off with their game style. So yeah, if you're looking for a retro style Madden game, this is definitely a Madden game you should definitely be playing. The best teams to use in this game, easily the Denver Broncos, who had just won the Super Bowl and still had John Elway for one more year, the Green Bay Packers with the best offense, and then the San Francisco 49ers with the best defense. Number 8. Madden 2001. One of the reasons why I love this particular Madden game in particular is because it features my favorite rapper of all time, Mr. X to the Z Exhibit himself, who's also a final boss and a playable character in NFL Street 2. Aside from his song The Mad In Game, which is one of the best Madden songs ever, Exhibit also features as a playable character in here as well, being the star tight end on one of the special teams in that Madden game, South River Echo. Okay, so I know I've been riding Exhibit on this game non-stop, but I just love Exhibit. But outside of Exhibit, what makes this game so great? Well, for starters, it's the first game to come out on second-gen consoles like the PlayStation 2, the GameCube, and the Xbox original. And the fact that the graphics came out as amazing as they did, at least at that point in time, along with the gameplay still feeling really fun, but feeling more like a simulation combined with the arcade style, you got yourself a great Madden game. And having Eddie George as the cover boy for this game was really a good choice, because it shows that we're moving into a new era of football for the sports gaming industry. And given that Eddie George is a running back that likes to make a powerful impact on anybody he comes across, this was basically a statement on we're making a powerful impact in the gaming industry. This game was also the introduction to the Madden cards, basically a trading card system inside the video game where you could earn cards from star players, coaches, and even cheat codes that you could use within the game themselves. So like glue hands, speedy feet, or the ability to throw the ball down the field the entire length of the football field. I mean, this game was an absolute groundbreaking game for the time period. Because without this game, future Madden games aren't able to build off of what Madden 2001 did. And I think if Madden 2001 wasn't as good as it was at that time, the series would have fizzled out within the next few years. Number 7. Madden 2002. One reason why this particular Madden game stands out a little more than Madden 2001 is the fact that it's the last Madden game to not have online play. Because, unfortunately, whether people see this as a blessing or a curse, Madden 2003, which we're going to talk about later on this list, brought in the online play, which would eventually lead to other things like microtransactions and stuff. So, people look back at Madden 2002 as a great game solely for the fact that it was the last time that you could play a Madden game for fun and not have to worry about paying extra money for little features. And Madden 2002 built off of what Madden 2001 already had to offer. Solid franchise mode, the Madden cards still being there. The practice mode returns from the Madden 2001, even though I didn't talk about that previously. But also what's added in this game is the 2-minute drill. Basically game mode where you have to score as many points as you possibly can, whether you be on offense or defense, before the 2 minutes are up. And lastly, another feature about this game that often gets overlooked, but it must be reiterated and restated: the Creator Team mode. Quite possibly the greatest customization mode in all the Madden games outside of the Creator Player mode. And the arcade mixed with simulation style of football in this game is still just as good as Madden 01's version was, so Madden 2002 was definitely a great game through and through, with a lot of good features here as well if you're just looking for a game that's meant to be played for fun in the comfort of your own home and not by playing other people online against. Best teams to use in this game: easily the Baltimore Ravens with Ray Lewis, who had just won the Super Bowl that year. The St. Louis Rams are still a great team to use in here as well. The Minnesota Vikings for Randy Moss and Dante Culpepper, because if you're unaware, they're quite possibly the greatest strong-arm, fast wide receiver duo. The Philadelphia Eagles have a young squad with Donovan McNabb leading charge. And the Oakland Raiders and Tampa Bay Buccaneers both have good defensive teams, just like the Baltimore Ravens do. Number 6. Madden 2007. I remember playing this version on the first ever Xbox, and this was definitely a great game. While the 3rd gen console version still had a rough time trying to find its footing, especially since it's just coming off the Madden 06 version, the Xbox One version and the PlayStation 2 version still slap so hard to this very day. I still specifically remember the NFL Superstar mode being the huge standout in this particular game for me. I still vividly remember watching the trailer for this game and them using the song Monsters by Matchbook Romance in this game, which is the same song that they used in Guitar Hero 3 Legends of Rock, which is by far the best version of Guitar Hero we ever had. And Sean Alexander in this game was basically what Michael Vick was in Madden 2004. Sean was an absolute unit in this game because of the MVP season he had the year prior where the Seahawks made the Super Bowl but lost to the Steelers. But in this game though, his juking ability combined with his legendary speed, and oh man, it was a nightmare for people trying to stop him. I still truly believe that to this day, if Sean had not suffered as many injuries as he did after that MVP season of his, he definitely would be in the Hall of Fame by now. But not to stray away too far off topic though. Yeah, Madden 07 was definitely a great entry to the series if it was for the 2nd generation consoles, while the 3rd generation was still trying to find its footing, and eventually did once we got to this particular Madden game that we're going to talk about in a second. But Madden 07 is definitely a fun time because it still has all the fun modes from previous Madden games, and it's in here just slightly modified just to fit the modern version of the Madden games. Best teams to use in this game, definitely the Seattle Seahawks, because like I said, Sean Alexander was an absolute cheat code in here. Also the Atlanta Falcons, because Michael Vick is still a cheat code in Madden games. The Indianapolis Colts with Peyton Manning, who was still the most explosive offense in the NFL at the time. Throw in the Pittsburgh Steelers because they had just won the Super Bowl that year against the Seahawks. And then last but not least, I'm going to throw in a dark horse team, the Carolina Panthers, because Steve Smith coming back from an injury was almost unstoppable that season as well. Number 5. Madden 2008. This is quite possibly the most complete experience of Madden in terms of it has a little bit of everything from the old games and the new games. And in a way, it acts as innovation for other games outside of this game. Not only do you have the NFL Superstar mode and the in-depth franchise mode, which is always fun to play, this game also brought in the player weapons icons. What is this basically? Think of when NBA 2K13 came out and it had those signature skills that you could apply to your favorite NBA players or your own custom NBA player. This is basically that, just basically 5 years earlier in advance. So like I said, this game had innovation that other franchises started using afterwards. Some of the icons could be like cannon for an arm or big hitter, and obviously I think you all, especially football fans, know exactly what those mean. Customization is still good as ever, especially even on the newer gen consoles, thank goodness, after the very terrible version of Madden 2006 for the Xbox 360 or PlayStation 3 that we got. And also, kind of like the old Madden games, basically playing the game more and more basically rewards you every single time. Sure, the Madden cards aren't there anymore, but the game still rewards you for playing it over and over again. With this game adding the Hit Stick 2.0 after the first Hit Stick was basically so dang popular, and then giving the game a much more realistic feel with the highly physical gameplay. I mean, just look at the tackling animations in here and you can see what I mean. Also, NFL Superstar mode sees a slight upgrade in its style of play as well. And let's not forget the cone vision of this game, and if you had the PlayStation 2 version specifically, the addition of the Fantasy Challenge, where you go on a journey to defeat fantasy-made teams that EA created themselves so that you can unlock them in the Play Now mode. These teams are overpowered as all heck and have something specific about them that makes them stand out. So imagine if Greek mythology and football just combined together, and you get to face against those type of teams basically. This added feature is another reason why Madden 2008 is often seen as one of the greatest Madden games of all time, along with all the other previous aspects of early Madden games added to this game as well. Teams like the kicker, the monsters, the manipulators, the dummies, the glaciers, the tridents, and last but not least, the deceivers. I remember playing this mode all the time in another Madden game that I have that I'm literally going to talk about in a couple minutes. But yeah, this particular mode became one of my favorites in Madden easily. And it's another reason why I still consider the PlayStation 2 as the greatest console of all time for being able to have this type of innovation in their games. The best teams to use in this version of Madden? Definitely the Indianapolis Colts with Peyton Manning, who was practically unstoppable in this game. The Tennessee Titans with a young Vince Young on the team. New England Patriots, who had just recently acquired Randy Moss, so you already know what you're going to do with Tom Brady and Moss in that game. The San Diego Chargers with Phillip Rivers and LaDainian Tomlinson leading the charge. And then the Baltimore Ravens with Ray Lewis back at the peak of his powers and a Steve McNair still throwing the football. So Madden 08 definitely deserves this high ranking that it gets, but I also personally feel like there's another Madden game that took everything that Madden 08 did and made it into a much more complete version of itself. What is that game, I hear you ask? Number 4. Madden 12. This was, to me, the last great Madden game ever put out, because every other Madden game since has either been average at best or just absolutely disgustingly bad. And I mean disgustingly bad. But what makes Madden 12 still a great game in my eyes, and why is it so high on this top 10 list? This is the last Madden game to have really good content and really good depth about what it's offering its players. This game was the last Madden game to have Madden moments. This was the last Madden game where you could customize your own teams. And this was also the last Madden game to come out on second-gen consoles. Most notably, the PlayStation 2 version, which in my personal opinion is the best version of Madden 12 out of all the other versions that came out for the other consoles. Also, Madden 12 was the last Madden game to have actual licensed music in it before it swapped to a more orchestra classical music style, and it would stay like that for a few years. And while on the topic of the soundtrack to me was really dope, and I even go as far as to say it's probably the last good soundtrack we had too, because all these other new soundtracks that came out for Madden have not been hitting or have taken songs from past Madden games and put them in there, which basically it shows that there's no innovation left in this franchise. Also, in my personal opinion, this Madden game is the one that has quite possibly the best collection of talent across all positions. Not one position be more overpowered than all the other positions. Every other Madden game I played up until this point has teams that legitimately have no players that make a difference in their game. As to where with Madden 12, it personally really feels like that even the worst teams have one player that can make a difference in their games. And also, quite possibly the most in-depth franchise modes is another Madden game that we're going to talk about a little bit later on this list. So while Madden 12 doesn't bring anything new or revolutionary to the table and instead just builds off of what Madden 10 and Madden 11 was building off of, this to me felt like a complete game, and it is still to me the last great Madden game to come out, because every other Madden game that we've had since has not been able to at least hold a candle to what Madden 12 was doing. The best teams to use in this game easily being the Philadelphia Eagles, the Green Bay Packers, the New England Patriots, the Indianapolis Colts, and the Atlanta Falcons. And I'll even throw in the Pittsburgh Steelers as a dark horse. Number 3. Madden 2003. My very first ever Madden video game, and like I said, this paved way for my love of football growing exponentially in my life. Playing this game as a kid was an absolute treat, and I absolutely enjoyed everything playing this game. Nostalgia aside though, what makes this Madden game so great? Firstly, the fact that this was the very first Madden game where you could play people online. As long as you had the Ethernet cord back in the day to plug into your PlayStation 2 or GameCube or whichever console you had, you was able to play various people online. This was also the very first Madden game where the customization feature was really starting to pick up steam. It wouldn't pick up steam until another Madden game, which would come out a year later, but we're not going to talk about that game just yet. Other things that make this game so much more fun to play, and was also the beginning of what would be the golden age of Madden games, was firstly the introduction of the minicamp mode. Basically, all the minicamps and all the drills that the players do during the off-season in the months of July and August basically was added into this game. So you could do like the coffin corner kick, you could do the field goal attempt, you could do the pocket passing, you could do the precision passing, the ground attack. There are so many different minicamp modes that you can play in here, and this was another reason why Madden 2003 was so much fun to play. There was also the addition of the Madden cards, which basically could help you get certain players or unlock certain teams or help you out during the game. I mean, there is so much to love about Madden 2003. Another thing to say about Madden 2003 is that it has quite arguably one of the most memorable soundtracks ever. While you can argue the case for Madden 12 or Madden 2004 or even Madden 2008, you cannot deny that Madden 2003 soundtrack is just as good as those soundtracks are. I mean, there's a lot of energetic hip-hop, a lot of energetic rock. There's a lot of different various songs in here that slap anytime you play this game, and it makes the experience all the more immersive. Also, I don't know if this is something that most people picked up on unless you're a real die-hard football fan, but the commentary got so much better this game. This commentary features Al Michaels and John Madden working together, and once again, it makes the experience all the more immersive because if you watch football during that time period, those were the two best commentators of football at the time. Also, Marshall Faulk being on the front cover of this game also makes the game all the more memorable in my eyes because anytime I see that cover, it puts a smile on my face. This game played such a huge part in my life, and it's the reason why it gets number 3 on this list, and I don't even think just my list. I think a lot of people would argue that Madden 2003 is top 5 all time easily. The best teams to use in Madden 2003 would easily be the St. Louis Rams, the Oakland Raiders, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Number 2. Madden 2005. Oh man, if you're a huge defensive head in football, this game is the game you need to play. Ray Lewis being the cover boy for this game shows you how much defense is going to play a part in this game. Madden 2005 introduces the hit stick, in which you can basically deliver a punishing blow to your opponent anytime they got the ball in their hands. I swear to you, people who use teams, especially teams that were more so focused on defensive efforts, basically had huge dopamine effects using a hit stick on a player on offense. So imagine you have Ray Lewis and you're sick and tired of these Madden users using Michael Vick to basically scramble all the time. You bring Ray Lewis in and you hit stick the heck out of Michael Vick to make him think about scrambling again. The hit stick feature basically punishes people who think they could do the same cheese that they did in Madden 2004 in this game. This was when EA Sports really cared about making sure the product of the game was much better than the last one, or doing little things to make this game stand out compared to the last Madden games. Also, it should go unsaid or undebated, but Madden 2005 has the greatest, most in-depth franchise mode of any Madden game ever. This Madden game literally had the Tony Bruno show, which was basically a radio show that basically Tony Bruno was just talking about either your team's performance, league-wide news, or even some of the player dramas going on. Then you also had the player morale and player chemistry, and basically you had to basically manage every single player as if you were actually the owner, and you had to deal with a bunch of angry, disgruntled players that could mess up the team chemistry, or basically you have to trade them or pay them a certain amount of money because they felt they earned that contract. And on top of that, the newspaper system as well. This game basically treats you as the owner of an NFL franchise, or franchises if you want to own multiple franchises in this league. The customization is as great as ever as usual. On top of that, the customization got even more in depth because now you could actually make fans of your teams too, which is also a great feature to have. The mini games return as well. And if you had the collector's edition of Madden 2005, you basically got more game modes and fun things to do in Madden 2005. One of these modes being Madden Moments. Moments in NFL history that you can replay and see if you can change the outcome or try to relive that same outcome once again, with each moment getting progressively harder to complete each time you complete a moment. So you'll have moments like the drive with the Broncos and Cleveland Browns from the late 80s. You also have the tuck rule from the early 2000s with the Patriots and the Raiders. Again, there's so many different moments in here that you could play. And on top of that, they also have a trivia quiz where they can basically test your knowledge on how much you know about the NFL's history. And then little videos, packages in which it shows you the development of the game. And on top of that, you can play the different style of Madden games from the very first Madden game until when Madden 2005 came out. All of this makes for such a great experience. And also a great soundtrack too. Probably the second greatest soundtrack in the entire franchise, in my opinion. Madden 2005 basically rewards you the more you play it. So the more you do the features, the more you do the play nows, the more you do the mini camp modes, the practice situation, the Madden moments, the customization, it rewards you for every little thing that you do, giving you tokens which you can then use to buy Madden cards to basically, as I stated in the Madden 2003, you can use to help you out during gameplay or help unlock certain teams or certain things you can do. The only thing that this Madden game would needed and was missing was the NFL Superstar mode and the secret teams like the Dummies and the Tridents and all the teams that came out in the later Madden games. The best teams to use in this Madden game would be the Philadelphia Eagles, the New England Patriots, the Carolina Panthers, the Baltimore Ravens, and the Indianapolis Colts, and the Tennessee Titans as a dark horse. This is quite possibly my personal favorite Madden game outside of 12 because of what it offered the franchise and what it continued to offer the franchise long after that, but it's not the best game in the series. In my personal opinion, the best game in the series is the one that really made Madden so popular worldwide. But what is that game, you may ask? Well, we're going to get into that in a second, but first, we're going to do a recap of every Madden game I have on this list, and I'll throw in a couple honorable mentions as well, even though a lot of the Madden games really haven't been up to snuff since these particular ones came out. So I'll see you guys in about a minute. Okay guys, before we get to the number one spot on this list, we're going to do the honorable mentions because there's a couple Madden games that could have made the top 10 list, but just didn't because I found something a bit more innovative in the other Madden games. Madden 11. Another solid entry in the Madden series, but not as good as 10 or 12, I would say. Madden 15. This was a good Madden game in a line of very mediocre or bad Madden games. Madden 2006 for PlayStation 2. Yeah, we're not even going to talk about the 360 version, and that 360 version is the reason why Madden 06 gets bumped to an honorable mention spot instead of the top 10. Okay, we are at the number one spot on this list, and while you can argue that other Madden games may have more to offer than this Madden game made Madden so popular worldwide, it's not even funny how popular this Madden game got. But the number one greatest Madden game of all time is Madden 2004. Before his career took a very dark turn for the worse, Michael Vick was quite possibly the most popular NFL player in the league at that point in time. and he was without a doubt, and still is without a doubt, the greatest Madden video game character of all time. And had he taken his career very seriously and not got involved in the dogfighting scandal that he got caught up in a few years later, Michael Vick to me could have been the greatest football player of all time. But that video is for a different day on my other channel, so go subscribe to my other channel if you want to see a video about that. But what makes Madden 2004 so special, aside from Michael Vick, is that it's the Madden game that has a little bit of everything in it. This game introduced the owner mode, which even though we had franchise mode in previous Madden games, this was the first time where you could actually be an owner of the team, and you could actually adjust things like the hot dog prices, stadium renovations, and relocating the team, and then hiring and firing coaching staff. Another thing about this Madden game that makes it so revered is the playmaker controls, where basically you have the ability to redirect your receivers to alter their routes on the fly after the snap, and then you could use, especially if you had Michael Vick, scrambling out of pocket to throw to that receiver who you had make a playmaker reroute basically. This is what made Michael Vick and the Atlanta Falcons, when people used them, so dangerous to use, because people would use that playmaker stick so many times, and it was so aggravating for people, because it basically meant that you did not have to know how to play Madden. As long as you had Michael Vick and the Falcons, and you just slightly knew how to use the playmaker mode, you basically could get an advantage over your opponent anytime you wanted to. And also, the customization mode got really deeper here too, with the same elements of customization from Madden 2003 making its way into this game, but also adding a little bit more to it as well. And let's not forget the soundtrack of this game. Quite possibly the greatest soundtrack of all time in any Madden NFL game, easily. A lot of my favorite songs that I listen to on the regular come from this particular game, more so than it does the other Madden games, easily. Like, I still get fever dreams thinking about a Ravens-Eagles Super Bowl with the song Crashing by Unloco playing in the background as the theme song for our Super Bowl like that. I mean, the blend of hip-hop and rock in this game is so on point, it's not even funny. There is so much to love about this game, and it really paved way for the sports industry exploding in popularity the way it did. Because, I mean, you can ask a casual NFL fan, or even non-football fans, and more likely than not, they'll say Madden 2004 is one of the greatest sports games easily, because it's just that recognizable. And while some may argue that a game like Madden 2008 has the more complete experience, or probably the most complete experience of any Madden game, you cannot deny the fact that Madden 2004 is the reason for that. And this reason, along with all the other reasons I stated before, is the reason why I see Madden 2004 as the greatest NFL Madden game of all time. The best teams to use in this game would be, obviously, the Atlanta Falcons, but also throw in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Oakland Raiders, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Baltimore Ravens, and the Miami Dolphins. And it is with that we are done with today's video, guys. What do you guys think of my ranking videos? Do you guys agree with the Madden games I have and the placements I have them in? If not, which Madden games do you think is better? Which ones do you think is worse? Let me know in the comment section down below. And also, before I sign off, I just want to let you guys know about my separate YouTube channel that I'm starting up, 50-Yard Stance with SlyLance. That channel, I'm basically going to be talking about a lot of football stuff there. I feel like at this point in time, I feel like now is the perfect time to start my football channel, just because I've put it off for a while, just because I figured nobody on my actual channel would actually like it. But I figured, you know, why not? Let's give it a start. And I love football enough to talk about it. So yeah, if you guys want to subscribe over there, go right ahead. I'll leave the link to my second channel down below. And as usual, guys, thank you so much for watching. It's your boy SlyLancey, and I'll see you guys next time.